enough of the countdown. Let's get right to it.
I told you it'd work.
Well, it did the other day, but you never know. Sometimes you have a little technology is a great thing, but it's also a pain in the. Anyway, let's get started. Hey, everybody, welcome to River City Media's Gadsden State softball show here with Coach Ryan Clark. I'm the Howard Chaney along with QB1 Randy Cunningham, and our got a special guest tonight, Miss Presley Slayton. Did I pronounce the last name right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Slayton. Uh, I'm not
Hold
going
up
to tell
now.
you.
The first question that begs to be asked is the Presley any form related to Elvis Presley?
No, but that's what I tell everybody. So
Okay, well, I'm a big Elvis fan, so I think you named after Elvis. So go ahead.
me too.
So I would tell you all the positions that she plays, but would be here half the night because it took her quite a while to tell us all of them. But anyway, Presley, welcome to the show, and best of luck during this interview because I don't know if Coach Clark really told you what you're getting into.
He just asked, and I said sure. So I'm very excited to be here.
Mm, 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 mm. Randy, go ahead, man.
Hey, Coach Clark, let's get back before we get into Presley. We opened up the fall season, and I read one of the games was covered online, so I got to see it. But it seems like you've played 6 games now and had some success.
Yeah, we're sitting right now at 4-2. Started off the fall with Marion. Marion's got a good team. They're always competitive. They're going to be one of the better Division II junior college teams in the state of Alabama. Followed up that with Central Alabama, who's right there with them. They're both traditionally really really good teams in Division II, and very good competition. Put us to the test. Both teams did. All 4 games that we played with both of those teams, they put us to the test, and we ended up splitting with both of those. And then we turned around Saturday, played a travel organization, played the younger team first, won 10-1, and then the older team that's full of committed players. They also tested us as well. Every player on that team is committed, and we did a good job of sticking with the plan and winning the game late. And so far we've been tested in every game that we've played, and that's good, especially with the amount of freshmen that we have on the field at different times. Being tested is always good, but I'm really liking seeing them push through and make things happen late in games.
Coach, is the statement I'm about to make, it could be real off, but I'm just going by football and playing 7-on-7. The better your competition now that pushes you, the better it is to prepare the season. Is that the same for you in softball?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what we're seeing right now, we're seeing some very competitive pitchers. MMI, we're getting different looks. MMI had some pitchers that spun it really well, put the ball where they wanted it, and kept us off balance. Central Alabama had a little more velocity, and then the Fusion organization, they had a mix of players in the first group that was mixing some speeds up, and then in the second group they had 2 college pitchers throwing at us. So we're getting better just because we're seeing pretty good arms. They can spin the ball, they can put it where it's supposed to be at. It's helping us learn, mostly directional hitting. That something that we're really having to harp on right now. And the more we see it out of good pitching, the better off we're going to be later in the year.
Absolutely. Presley, as a freshman, walking into your first collegiate competition, and I know it's fall ball and you're still getting used to it, set of nerves has got to be a little bit on top of you.
Yes, I always tell everybody that I don't get nervous until I have to be. That's a big thing that I've kind of tried to remember coming into college is that it's the same game I've always played and it's the same game that I love. But I do think, with college came some nerves, but I definitely think our teammates and stuff really helped to kind of ease those nerves and really just play to love the game.
And she's named after Elvis Presley. I'm staying with it, Howie. Hey, Coach, when you looked at Presley's profile as a high school player, what jumped off the page to you to say, hey, she can help us at Gadsden?
Well, first I saw her when I was coaching in high school. Was the first time I saw her. Alexandria is where she went to high school at, just down the road from here. They've always had a good program. Coach Hess does a good job over there. I think since early 2000s they've been competitive. I think they won their first state championship maybe in 2004 with him. I don't know if they won one before that, but I kind of laughingly made a joke one day. I went over there. They had a 2004 state championship. They had a 2014 state championship. And I thought they were gonna. They had a really good shot at 24. Every 10 years they seemed like they were winning them, but they're always there. They're always in the conversation. They're always in the top teams in the state of Alabama. This past year was really impressive seeing what Presley did. Now, she was already signed with us. I knew what kind of player she was because I'd seen her before. She was one of my first 2025s that we brought in, pitching and hitting. But the more and more I got to see her play, the more I got to see her grow. And then, through the playoffs this past year, she was really impressive in the circle. Her bat's always been impressive, but she was really growing more in the circle. You got Orange Beach High School, who is loaded with talent. Loaded. They're in they're top 10 in the nation. If you ask certain polls, I don't know how that works, how you can be a top 10 in the nation, but certain polls have them ranked that high. And I got to see Presley gut it out that day, and second or third game she had pitched that day, second maybe. Went right at them, and I think it was a 3-0 ball game. And it was close. It was closer than 3-0. It was. I think maybe had one earned run. She really went out there and competed her tail off, and that's when I already knew she could play at this level. But that's when I knew she had it down deep because that was the second game she had pitched that day.
Presley, going back and talking a little bit about how I'll come to you after this, talking about your high school career headed into college. I got a couple of different questions, and I'll follow this one up. At what age did you begin to believe the next level was possible for you?
Well, my dad had kind of always talked to me about playing college sports. It didn't start with softball; it started with golf. I started playing golf whenever I was really little, and from that, my dad was a baseball player in high school, and he was going to go play college. And so once we figured out that I could swing a bat, he decided that that was what we were going to do. So, but looking into colleges really probably started about 12. We talked about it before that, but the realistic kind of started as I started going to high school ball.
Right now I got a sophomore who plays girls flag football, and she tells me every day that she's going to play at the next level.
Mhm.
She's about convinced me of it now. So I think you have to start at that level and at that age. 2 years ago when it came to the state, you don't prepare for this just your senior year. You
Mhm.
prepare to be a college athlete a while.
Yes.
Um, did you? Um, I assume had a pitching coach growing up too.
I've had 4, not including my parents because obviously, they have their input too, and I'm very grateful for that. But I did. I started out with somebody local and just kept going from there. I have loved all of them though, but now I just kind of work by myself, listen to what our coaches say, and it's really helped me to hear from different people what their ideas of pitching are. And so I have had a few.
Hey, Coach Clark, when you bring in a young pitcher like that, we talked a little bit about this last week. You have to learn Presley's rhythm in the bullpen for a game. Are you going to use her strictly to start or in relief, or have you looked at the profile of what it's going to be?
She can do either one. We've got some really good arms this year, and I like the fact that right now we're trying them in the fall to see how we feel they're better. So to see how we feel if they're a better starter right out of the gate, or if we feel like they're better at shutting the door at the end of the game. So right now she's able to do both. We'll see how the puzzle pieces fall in the spring, and kind of see where she fits that mold.
Presley, give you a choice here. It'll tell me a little bit here. First inning of a doubleheader, or the last inning of the doubleheader. When do you want your ball?
That's really hard because honestly, I just love being in the circle. I have for the majority of my high school, like moving into college, I was a starter. So I do love, getting the ball right out of the gate, going in and dominating to kind of set a mood. But, if I need to be in that situation where I can close, I also love coming out there and just showing something different and being able to dominate in that way too.
Howie, I've told you of my great bullpen catching career. I'm telling you, these relievers are different. They got different personalities. So if Presley says some crazy stuff, we'll know she's a reliever later on.
Yeah, it's we kind of talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Pitchers and kickers are just a different breed altogether. Um, Presley, I want to go back on something that you said earlier. Um, you only get nervous when you need to get nervous. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes. So I've kind of grown up in a way that, if it's your game and you know how to do it, then there's no reason to be nervous. I try to always, start off by prayer and stuff like that. And that kind of helps to calm my nerves. And so being able to do that before a game, and I mean, even like interviews, stuff like that, really helps me to just stay calm. If I need to get nervous and I need to do something like that, I can. But I don't feel like there's ever a need for it because then it just tenses you up and you don't play to your best ability.
So you wasn't nervous coming over here talking to us then?
No, I love talking. No. Yes, no. No nerves here.
Awesome, good deal. So let's say Coach Clark is not here. He's on the softball field out there now. And Randy kind of touched on it, so I'm going to touch on it a little bit more. Would you rather be a starter or a reliever or a closer?
We can
Oh,
mute Coach Clark, so don't worry
oh,
about it.
no, that's okay. I think I prefer to start just because I'm kind of a get out there and set the mood pitcher. So that's kind of my take is I want to get out there and I want to show them exactly what we've got and exactly what they're going to have to deal with for the full game.
That's great. Alexandria, very close to home. Did
Yes.
that have something to do with you choosing Gadsden State, or was it just knowing that you're going to be playing for the great Coach Ryan Clark?
Definitely it had to do with that. I was thinking about moving off, but whenever I got an offer from them, first off, it was the community and the way that he talked about how he wanted our program to be, and that really stuck out to me. You don't find a lot of college coaches that'll tell you, "I want you to go to church on Wednesdays and Sundays, and we're going to try and make that happen." And so that was really what stood out to me. The day that I went home, I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to play at Gadsden State. And it just worked out for me too, because getting to live at home, getting to be around my family is very important to me.
That's great. Yeah, being close to home. That's kind of led me into the next question. Are you actually staying at home or are you staying on campus?
I am staying at home.
That's great. Have your family with you the whole time. Coach Clark,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about this fall. 4-2. What has kind of surprised you so far with your team this fall?
I would say, I don't know, is our pitching has not really surprised me. I knew what we were getting with Caitlin Rains has pitched really well. Presley's pitched really well. Leighton Arnold's pitched really well. Um, Peyton Battles has pitched really well. Zeta Zap, she's only thrown one inning for us, but that one inning was good. Chloe Phillips gives you a different look. She's pitched really well for us. Aubrey Curse is a returner, and she's pitched a few innings, done well there. And then Sydney Simpson is coming out of her injury, and she's thrown an inning for us. So not really surprised in that sense, but just glad to see where we're at with our arms, how they all get out there and they compete, and they have all got their different ways of competing, and it's really exciting to see the growth in the circle that we've had.
So far after the 6 games, I haven't been able to see any stats. No stats are online, of course, because it is kind of I kind of mentioned it the other day as a glorified practice to a certain extent, but I know you personally keep up with stats and all that. Are you pleased with your fielding percentage and everything, batting average?
Yeah, I believe we've only made 3 errors, maybe it's five now. It's five now. 5 errors in 6 games. And two of those were sun related, and then the other three were just mishaps. We had one thrown away. We had one ball kicked. No, two thrown away and one ball kicked. So defensively, we've played really well. We're doing a couple of new things with defense and put them in some new positions and some shifts that they probably thought was a little crazy, but now that the ball's going right at them instead of them having to dive for it, it's starting to make a little more sense. Feeling the ball with our feet a little better, feeling it out front a little better. So defensively, I've been pretty pleased. We've got to get a little better with our footwork, but that all comes with practice through the fall and working on it. And we work on that every day with our infielders as far as footwork and working through the ball and setting my feet to give myself a better shot at a better throw.
How about your batting average? You pretty pleased with the bat so far?
Yeah, I think overall as a team, we're batting. Everybody on the team's got at least at 1, 2, 3 at bats. I think we're batting 361 right now. So we're hitting the ball pretty well. We've got a couple of hitters that are around the 500 mark. And again, it's kind of a variety of type of hitters we have right now. We've got a few power hitters in the lineup, and then we've got some that's got a lot of speed that's going to beat it in the ground, and you're going to have to get the ball out quicker. You're going to be safe. We got a couple that can hit the ball to the shortstop, and if you don't get the ball out fast enough, they're safe at first base. So, just having a dynamic lineup that we have, I think is going to help us in the long run and allow us to give people different looks.
Presley, coaches said everybody's got 2 or 3 at bats so far. How many at bats have you got, and how many hits have you got?
Ooh, I can't lie to you. I don't really look at my stats. I try to avoid them to, get out of my own head. I know that I've gotten probably 2 to 3 at bats each game, so however many that adds up to, and I think I'm sitting around 500. So I think probably about half. Yeah,
8 for 16 with 4 walks.
there you go. Yeah.
For somebody that don't keep up their stats, you got a good memory.
So she's
Yeah.
batting 500.
That's cool. Let's say, Presley, one day you decided, well, pitching, Coach Clark may not want me to say this, but I'm not real fond with pitching. I just want to play the field and bat all the time. What position would you want to play?
I like the corners. I'm big about playing in the corners. I mean, you can put me anywhere, but if you want somebody who's probably faster in the middle of the field, I get that. But I think that I do have a kind of a quick throw and a good glove, so I prefer third or first.
Let's narrow it down even more. Between third and first, which one
Ooh.
would you prefer?
Probably third, but as a pitcher, I play more first.
Okay. Coach Clark, let's talk a little bit about that gorgeous background you got behind you there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Before you go, I was just sitting here watching the sun go down, and we just got a little peek of it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, and when the fall is finished too, those trees clear out a little bit more, and you can see the Coosa River. You can kind of see it off to the side right here. You got a little bit of the Coosa River anyway, and it goes all the way around the center field that you can see. So really, really great background. Probably people are going to get distracted during the games. We'll have to make sure Coach Hart don't get distracted during the games watching the sun go down. But it'll be easy to do, I promise, because it is a beautiful background. And if we're allowed to play here on Thursday, which we're hoping we are, that sun's going to be setting right in the middle of the game. And, for all players, they turn the field the right angle. So it's not in anybody's eyes. It's at a great angle. We're excited. We're hoping we're out here on Thursday. It's full turf field. Only thing we have to ever do is keep the leaves off of it and sweep it once a week, and it'll be around for a long time. So we're really excited about the facility and everything that we've got going.
May I ask, what's the only hiccup that would keep you from playing there Thursday?
So the only thing that's kept us from playing so far is there's a parking lot back behind our bleachers that they started paving today, and then so if that thing is paved by tomorrow like it's supposed to be, there should be no reason for us not to be out here on Thursday. It's from what I've been told. Now there may be something else holding it up, and then we've got a pedestrian bridge that actually cuts through the woods there, which is going to be a pretty neat deal. They're setting it tomorrow as well. So, anything that would be left at that point is cosmetic, and so we're hoping highly that we're here on Thursday.
Hey, that's a great segue. I was going to go into the Georgia Highlands game that you got tomorrow at Georgia Highlands. Is that the one at Cartersville, or where
It
are
is
they located at? Okay.
Cartersville.
So, do you know much about them? What's going to happen? Who's going to be starting pitcher?
So tomorrow, Georgia Highlands is a pretty good team. They're going to be one of the top teams in the state of Georgia. They had some very good athletes last year. We played them 6 games last year, and I think we split down the middle with them. But they've got a very competitive team. They got some really good athletes. They're in a great area over there that I always talk about between Chattanooga and Atlanta. They're right in between, and so they've got a lot of athletes in their backyard. So they're going to be competitive. They're going to be good. Starting pitcher for game 1 is probably Caitlin Rains. Go at them early in game 1, and then Presley's going to start game 2. So, and then we work our relievers in after that. We're trying not to right now pitch our pitchers too much and over pitch them. But if I feel like we're in a situation where we might need to keep somebody in an extra inning, we'll do that too, because I think they're ready for that. I think their arms are conditioned enough. We've been throwing for a month and a half, rehabbing for a month and a half, strengthening those shoulders. So, and like I was telling you before, there's none of our pitchers, any of our pitchers that are not used to throwing, 7 to 14 to 21 innings possibly in a day. So, if we needed to stretch somebody out, we can.
Randy, come to you after I asked Miss Presley this question here. Did you know you was going to be game 2 starter?
No, I did not.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Breaking news. Randy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Presley, I'm going to ask you questions about that in a second. Coach, is that foliage good hitting background?
It is. It is. Bright yellow ball in front of a green tree, it sticks out. So they had talked about cutting some of those trees down. I told them, please don't leave them. We want that back there, and especially when the spring hits and we're getting around to March and trees fill back in. But like I said, late fall, all the leaves are going to fall off. We're going to see the river. So either way, it's a great background.
Yeah, I think it's better. You go to these big league parks, and sometimes they've got those green tarps, and I've hit against a tarp back in my day, and it really isn't a great hit background. Natural backgrounds seem to, you pick up the ball better. I can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we've also got LED lights out here too, so it's going to make that ball almost like a highlighter. So added with that background with the LED lights, it's going to be great visibility and good hitting background.
Well, speaking of that, the lights are kind of taking effect now, making everything look a lot better. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Presley, congratulations, by the way, starting game 2. That's a big deal. We're going to talk about hitting in a second, but in the circle, what is your favorite pitch, and is it your best pitch?
My favorite pitch is probably a rise ball. And I would like to tell you that it's always my best pitch, but that's not realistic for pitchers. There could be days where it's wonderful, and there could be days where it's the worst pitch I throw. But it's probably my favorite overall.
Yeah,
you see now what I've been talking about with pitchers.
Yeah, I dealt with them all my life. You got it. But there's a beauty in the drop ball too.
There is.
The handle when you got a good rise and drop going. What's your mix? I'm not asking about your in-game strategy, but are they times that you just okay? I need to ride the drop ball. I need to ride the riser. My fastball, they can't catch up with it. Is that a decision that's in your head the whole time you're pitching?
It is. I think that's too something that my catcher kind of picks up. That's something that we talk about a lot is this is what's working, this is what they're hitting, this is what they're not hitting. And so I do think that that's something as a hitter too, being able to hit and pitch, that's something that kind of always is in the back of my mind is what would I want to see in this situation. So I do think that's a big part of being a pitcher and having that mentality.
Coach Clark, you talked last week or 2 weeks ago about more freedom for the pitchers in the circle and the catcher. Is that part what she just said? That perfectly describes what you talked about last week.
Yeah. So, what we're trying to do in the fall is get our pitchers and catchers to grow together. In the fact of, just for an example, we're up in the count the batter can't catch up, we don't need to call a changeup, right? So somebody in that situation, the catcher or the pitcher needs to shake that off or not call that, you know. So like she's talking about though, they're starting to pick up little things from batters, and you know when they come in, our both of the other coaches are keeping charts on that stuff, so that's something that they can discuss, something that the catchers can go discuss with them. And you know, next time this player comes up, we do not need to throw it in on our hands, or we need to throw it in on our hands. You know, things like that. Yeah, just giving them a little bit more of that freedom to be able to see those things and be able to see where the batter's standing in the box that we can't see from the dugout. You know, and if they're standing off the plate and we throw it to where she can hammer it, then that needs to be something that the pitcher and catcher are aware of before the pitch is ever called and agreed to by the pitcher.
Perfect. Presley, they are a rare few that hit better without getting their arms extended. They hit inside well. They just have that natural bat movement. Is when you're at the plate, or what do you like? Do you like to be able to extend, or is there a combination of that?
I would have to say that now there's a combination of that. Prior to this fall, if you threw me one outside, I was probably gonna either not swing at it or swing and miss. So, but through this fall, I think that I really have developed better of being able to hit on either side of the plate. But I think that that was a big part of it was coming in and realizing that a lot of our girls had a really great curveball and hitting live arm. If I didn't hit a curveball, I probably wasn't gonna hit one. So I had to learn how to adapt to that.
So you know you have a plan when you come to the plate of kind of your hot zones, and in some parts of the plate and some pitches, you're almost in a defensive mode. Is that something Coach Clark and the staff has talked about, finding your pitch?
It is. I think definitely situational hitting, knowing which pitches and what situation, and also being able to identify if there's nobody on, what pitch am I going to drive somewhere? What zone am I going to look for in each situation? Because, I mean, there's pitches that I can hit hard, but that I may not swing at with no strikes because I know that's not my pitch. And I think that's something that we talk about a lot.
All right, Coach, I got it out of her. You've talked about it for 2 years. It's situational at bats, and it's using your head when you're at the plate. And I think you have went with that in mind the last 2 years.
Yeah, so we've really hammered that in the fall because it kind of got us in a little trouble against MMI. Um, you know, we got a lot of freshmen in the lineup that were going up there and they got, you know, bright eyes and, you know, make the game smaller than what it is, you know, see one pitch at a time. And I think they've done a really, really good job of that since then. One that really sticks out as far as Presley talking about not being able to hit the ball the other way very, very much. Now she could, but it wasn't as automatic as it's becoming right now. We had bases loaded with 2 outs against Central Alabama, and she hit one in the right center gap and cleared the bases because she knew that we got to look to go the other way with the ball so we can score that runner. I'm sorry, there was 1 out. Look to go the other way with the ball so we can score that runner at third. So she was already in that mindset. They gave her the pitch to do so. She hit it in the gap, and I think growing as a hitter means knowing situations and knowing that there's home runs are always a great thing. But if you know if it's not where we want that home run pitch, we got to learn that we can throw our hands and still drive the ball the other way and go gap to gap and get doubles as well.
You know what? You just said my favorite word. So I'm going to turn it over to Presley here. Is there anything better in softball than situational hitting when you are maybe you're just trying to go to the right side of the infield? Maybe your whole purpose to be up there is to put one on the right side, but somehow you're doing the right thing for the team, but you end up just drilling one. That is a great feeling, isn't it?
It is. And I think that's one of my things is I'm a power hitter, obviously, but I love hitting a home run. But something that kind of compares to that to me is I love getting a big strikeout in a big situation or getting one of those too. So I think there are things that kind of go inside like fielding and hitting. I think there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes hand in hand, but a home run is definitely one of my favorite feelings.
Do you like hitting when you're pitching?
Yes.
Do you feel it keeps you more into the game?
It does.
Coach, do you let all the pitchers hit, or are they just a select few that you go
If
ahead
they
and
can if they can hit and hit at a high level, they're going to hit even when they're pitching. So for right now, like even when Presley's not pitching, she's the DP. So, that if they can hit, they're going to be hitting while they pitch. Leighton Arnold's another example. When she's pitching, she's still hitting. She's playing a little right field. When she's not pitching, she's nursing a little shin bruise and getting through that right now. But she had a really good day on Saturday. So and pitching and hitting. So if they can hit and hit at a high level, absolutely they can do both.
Coach Ryan Clark, do you know how beautiful that facility behind you looks?
Oh yeah, I could sit in those bleachers for hours just sitting there.
Oh, it is beautiful. It's almost like a field of dreams for girls softball in Gadsden.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Howie, I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk. I'm just gonna stare behind Coach Clark. I'm not looking at him. If you see me looking back, just so you know.
Presley, let's go back to that play that or the hit that Coach Clark was talking about. Did you end up with a double or a triple on that one?
I think I ended up with a double.
Why didn't you get a triple? Come on, Presley. Come on now. No, I'm just
Now,
messing with you.
in practice, I've gotten one or two, but in a game, I try and be a little bit smarter of a base runner, know my speed.
You know,
Do,
when I'm at base, sometimes I build my plate so I can get a triple too.
Yeah.
so let's talk about that a little bit as far as on the games that you're pitching and of course you're batting as well. Do you take that into consideration? Hey, I've got to pitch a couple more innings. I'm not going to push it.
I wish I could tell you yes, but absolutely not. No. I'm gonna go wide open no matter what it is. That's just kind of how I feel about it is if I can't run a triple and then go out and pitch, then maybe I shouldn't be doing both. So I'm gonna try and no matter which one I'm doing, I'm gonna give all my effort in that moment.
I knew the answer to that one before you even asked. I could see the personality coming through the camera.
I mean, I did too, but as a broadcast journalist, you got to ask the hard hitting questions.
Hey, that was a softball right there. That was a slow pitch softball.
Coach, is it all right if I ask her the top speed on her pitch, or do you want that information out?
That's fine.
All
Yeah.
right, Presley, top speed on your pitch.
Clocked is 65. I'd say that's probably the fastest that I've thrown. I've let a few loose that haven't been clocked, but somewhere around that area, 65.
Did those that you let loose that was faster end up like 4 foot over the dugout or anything?
I'm sure they have from time to time. I'm sure
Okay.
there's a few.
I'm just making sure.
Oh, Coach Clark, like Randy said, beautiful facility there. I know y'all are looking forward to hopefully get to play the first one there Thursday. What's your favorite part of the facility there?
I don't really know. The lights are pretty cool. We won't see those a whole lot, but they're pretty cool. They flash, they turn red, they do all the crazy things. You can make them do all kinds of things. Uh, the speakers when they were designing this, I did tell them that I wanted it to be loud enough that it didn't sound muffled or anything like that. So they actually, you can see right over the top of my head, there's a speaker on every light pole in this place, and we'll never be able to turn it all the way up. It sounds like you're in a Division I football stadium when it's turned up. You cannot hear the person beside you talk. So speakers are really cool. I love the fact that it's turf. It rained all day. One day this week, we came out here and practiced that afternoon with zero issues. They've got a full size locker room with 30 lockers inside of there, mixed with a nutrition room that's going to be added. Once we finish, there's a little office area that we're going to turn into a nutrition room off to the side. And then hopefully sometime soon we'll be able to add the recovery room to the other side. Video boards coming into left center. There's really nothing you could ask for that we're not getting here. We're very grateful and just excited to finally get to 100% use it.
Hey, Howie, let me ask Coach a question about the lighting because I called a high school game under those lights the other night, and it was amazing to me how much detail I could see from the press box. Does it enhances the fans' viewership watching under LED? Don't you think?
No doubt. No doubt. I never thought there was that big of a difference until we went, maybe Winfield or somewhere like that had them, and you could. It was just a. It's almost like you see the grass blades. It was just a. It was a totally different look, and then when you see them put them up, you're thinking there's no way that's enough lights because you're used to seeing, 10, 12, 15 lights on a pole, and then here they are with 3 or 4 lights, and it lights the whole thing up. So definitely a big difference.
Yeah, they made theirs dance different colors every time they scored touchdowns, and I saw that a whole bunch 2 weeks ago. So let you know that's a fact. Go ahead, Howard.
Presley, let me ask you the same question. What part of the facility do you like the best?
Coming from a school that didn't have turf, I really love the turf as a pitcher. I think that it helps us to kind of have the same thing every time. You're not having to throw in a different situation or throw with a big hole in the ground every time. But I do love our locker room too. Getting to see it is very nice. We had lockers in high school, but they definitely didn't look like those. And the whole thing is wonderful, but I definitely love the turf probably the most.
Coach, since you mentioned the locker rooms, let me ask you as far as the lockers, how are you going to place each player in the lockers? How is that going to work out? Or are they going to get to pick which locker they're at next to their friends? Or I know
I
they're all
really,
friends, but you know what I'm getting at.
I really don't care. I just kind of threw them in there and mixed them up some and like mess with a few of them and like I got twins on the team and I put one on one side and one all the way on the other side of the locker room.
That
Like,
was
yeah,
smart.
yeah, it probably should happen, that so they don't hit each other. But I just put them in the lockers. I really don't care if they move them. It doesn't matter to me. It's their locker room, their space. But hopefully we're moving stuff in there Wednesday or Thursday. So, but no, it doesn't really matter to me where they're at.
As long as they get the W, you don't care.
That's right. Hmm.
Randy, I'm going to let you ask some more questions before we go into the recliner.
Uh, is the Tyler Van School of Locker Room Cleanness going to be used in the Gadsden State girls softball complex?
So there's a few things that I'm very OCD about. Just like tomorrow, we're traveling on the bus, and one of my sophomores asked if we have to match while we're on the bus, and I told him no, it's such a short trip, we won't have to. But uh, I'm very particular about matching, and it drives me nuts right now because some of them have like Mizuno socks and Under Armour socks and plain red socks. I hadn't said anything because I haven't given out socks yet, but um, you know. Um, Very OCD about things, and that's something the locker room is going to be something we're going to take pride in. And your jersey is going to be in the same spot every day. Your helmet's going to be in the right spot every day. If you want to continue to be able to use that locker room.
Presley, I'm just going to I gave you all a tip right there because I've been in their football locker room. Everything was organized. So just a little tip for you going on. Might want to take it. Coach, one last question before we talk about. I talked to Presley. Tell me about Presley at the plate. We've talked about her on the mound a lot, but tell me about Presley at the plate.
She's got a lot of power. I mean, that's just the bottom line, and people are starting to find that out pretty quickly. She's got a lot of power, and I think some of the things she's doing right now at the plate and working on it practice is making her more of a dynamic hitter rather than just a middle end home run hitter. Now she could hit the ball the other way, but now she's learning that she hit two over the scoreboard today that were the scoreboards in right center. So learning that she's got power to all fields is something that's really starting to be an everyday thing and become more natural to her. She's always had the power, like she was talking about earlier, but really seeing her grow and having power from one foul ball to the other, it's going to make her that much more of a dangerous hitter.
Nice, Presley. I don't know. There's something. You're right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Is there not anything more beautiful than seeing a right-handed batter drive the ball to right field? I just love it. So, um, Presley, when you were in high school, Coach talked about you being a middle in hitter. Would you go up there looking middle in always?
100% every time. In the middle or inside. Those were the only two pitches I wanted to hit.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
Yeah.
Uh, now, being at the collegiate level, do you change your approach mentally every time with a bat?
I wouldn't say I necessarily changed my approach. I think more situationally, but I'm still going up there with the same mindset of do damage with the first pitch. Anything with two strikes, I'm putting myself in a good situation to hit the ball where it needs to be hit. But I do think definitely looking at runners more. I wouldn't say that my mentality has changed, but I'd say that my view of the field has changed.
If you didn't notice, your coach shook his head yes when you said do damage with the first pitch. I think he kind of liked that statement. Coach, is that
I
something?
love that. I mean, if you get the pitch that you're looking for middle in, like she said that that's her favorite. She gets that early in the count. I'm a okay with swinging at it and trying to hit it over our concession stand. Especially early in the count. So
Presley, just a little bit about to now in the future. You made a decision, which I think, I think a lot of, I think a lot of athletes would make the decision to play locally like you did, to get 2 years of college and be at home with the family. And uh, it comes to the next level. Does that make it a little easier to maybe go a little farther away?
Oh, she got a
uh
phone call or a text.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
uh
I'm so sorry. My parents called me. Could you repeat that question?
I see that they were trying to cut me off. I know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, since you made the decision to play locally at the JUCO level, now when you get into the next side of recruiting process, would it make it easier maybe to be a little farther away since you've had 2 years playing college ball, being at home, seeing your parents, and playing where your parents can see you every day?
I do. One of my big things I've always talked about is do what I can with who I can, like while I'm at home and stuff. And whether I go and play somewhere far off or whatever, I think that my parents have really taught me.
They really don't want her to talk about going away. Coach, while she's coming back on, what does Presley have to do to uh,
There I go.
go ahead,
Sorry.
Presley?
I have those overprotective parents that wanted me to live at home. Um, but I do think that it'll help me. They've taught me to be responsible and they've taught me those ways. And I do think that it's helped me to be more responsible as a player living at home, making sure I know where everything is, making sure that stuff is clean. So I think that that will help me if I do decide to go play further off, that I've already got those morals and that mindset of I've got to be able to take care of myself.
That's very good. I went to the University of Tennessee and majored in going to class once a week. So there's some of us that didn't have that kind of go get 'em attitude. If you stay long enough, they will graduate you, though. Coach, even from Tennessee, they will graduate you.
mm,
Coach, what is Presley really in the next 2 years you have her, and you're looking at developing her as a player? What are the things you would like to gift her with 2 years from now if she has to go through that recruiting process again?
I think just continuing to work every day. She knows that. She's already, like we've talked about, a dynamic player, can play multiple different positions, can swing the bat well. I think just realizing that there's always a higher ceiling than where we're at, and I think she realizes that because her and most of her teammates are coming every single day to work and trying to improve on something every single day. So that's always good to see, and I think um, it'll be impressive really to see where she could potentially end up in the next 2 years as far as a player ability wise.
Mm, that, that's that's actually great to hear, but a little scary too, that she's got that much talent. That's a huge responsibility to you, Miss Presley. Hey,
Yes, that's exactly right. I've always been told that it doesn't matter how much talent you have, if you don't work hard, you can't use it.
amen. All right, Howie's going to ask you some crazy questions, but I'm going to ask my crazy questions first. So we do a little segment, and by the way, just to get Coach Clark ready, we're going to close out with shout outs because he always He has to think about shouting out his wife every time, but he'll be ready this time. Uh, Presley, do you like football?
I do like football.
And you're a fan of what team?
Alabama, roll tide.
Mm, I really liked her up to
Did
that.
you did you watch football this weekend, Randy?
I did. That
Okay,
was.
good.
You know what? I love Ty Simpson. I've told you this. His dad, head coach at UT Martin, he played as well as he could. Mississippi State, Tennessee. I'm going to die watching a football game someday. Also, homecoming. My daughter was at it. Thank God that kept me from going to Starkville. Those cowbells would have drove me crazy. Um, what other sports did you play in high school?
I played volleyball and basketball for different times, but for most of my high school time.
What did you enjoy about each?
Basketball, I can't lie to you. I love roughing somebody up in basketball. I may not have been the best shooter and I may not have been the quickest, but you were going to know I was there and I was going to make sure that you remembered.
You played a little right tackle at basketball.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
uh, and the last thing, and like I say, I won't get in Howie's questions away. Have you thought about what you want to do in the future as far as career? Do you want to coach? Do you want to get in sports medicine? Do you want to get, or do you have no idea now at this point?
Everybody that asks me is always normally pretty surprised. I've known since I was about 6 years old that I was going to be a teacher. But once I started going into my middle school, high school years, I'm going to teach special education and coach.
Do you know what a wonderful calling that is, young lady?
It's a calling, and it's a lot of people say that it's a little bit crazy of a calling, but it's definitely what I want to do.
We just had a young lady at Covenant College that was on one of our shows last year, and she had took a special ed's job with a head softball job. What was she? Howie, 23 or 22? She
She was
was,
like 21, 22, something.
yeah. So I remember her enthusiasm because she is about to graduate and go. I assume right now she's taking her first year, but and you have to have a calling for helping people to do this. And is that something you feel inside?
Yes, I definitely. If it wasn't that, then it was going to be something in psychology, becoming a therapist. But I definitely think that my heart is with teaching special ed kids.
I'm glad you didn't get a psych degree because this program in itself is a psych experiment, but we're a little crazy. We like you. Hey, I'm gonna let Howie close out. Coach Clark, always thank you, and I enjoy the show very much. It's quickly becoming my favorite hour every 2 weeks, and good luck this week, and I appreciate your time.
Yes,
And
sir. Thank you.
how was the kiddos? You got to give an update a little bit. They had
Oh,
come.
they were good. They were ready to go to Mimi and Pop's house. They were ready to jump out of that car and get going. But I got to see them nonetheless for a little bit before we came on the show. So right now it's kind of they get they get the short end of the stick a little bit because wife's coaching volleyball. Obviously, we've got a lot of fall softball stuff, so they get kind of passed around a little bit, but they enjoy it. Very thankful for everybody that helps us out in that way. And springtime's a little bit easier. Mom's at home a lot. I may not be at home as much, but she's home a lot, so at least they're getting to be at home or at our ball games. And my daughter was really upset Saturday. She couldn't come to the game because she was running a little bit of a fever, and she was not happy about it. She wanted to go either way, and so I told her, hopefully Thursday, if we're here, then she'll be coming to the game. So
In 31 years of broadcasting sports, I say it all the time, and I'll say it. My daughter would repeat it to you. Good kids grow up at the ball field.
that's right. Hmm.
Mhm.
Ms. Presley, thank you for your time. You're a very impressive young lady, and you are welcome back anytime you want to come.
Thank you. Thank you.
Howie,
Presley.
don't make her too nervous right now, okay?
Well, she said she wasn't nervous, so she's all good. Look, Coach Clark already knows. He's been through these drills before. He's had these questions. Look at him. He's trying to keep from laughing right now. Uh, Presley, what's the biggest difference between college and high school, and what part of college do you enjoy the most?
High school was kind of the same thing every day. Go to the same classes, you're around the same people, talk to the same people. College is not that. I mean, obviously my class schedule is the same every week, but being in those different classes, being around new people, I may not see the same person twice on this campus, but being able to make friends with who I meet, and I think that's probably one of my favorite things is not having a set schedule all the time, being able to be a little bit more diverse and do some things I haven't gotten to do before, I think is probably my favorite part of college.
Hey, Howie, I want to answer that one. One of them was C plus, and the other one was C minus. That's what's different. So go ahead.
Presley, let's get to know Presley a little bit away from there. What do you enjoy doing away from the softball field?
I'm very involved in my youth group, so I go to church at a local church to where, like Alexandria, where I live. That's probably what takes up the majority of my time when I'm not at softball. Family and friends, I love hanging out with my family, but I also love school. I'm a nerd. I love to learn. I'll sit at home and do my homework. I don't have to be in class to do it. And Coach Hart had me here tutoring, so I think like teaching other people too. That's one of my things I love.
So you was teaching Coach Hart something?
I
Probably.
was teaching.
Probably.
Well, if he was listening, then I was. But if he wasn't listening, then it was just my tutoring people.
um, you mentioned something earlier. You played golf at a young age. Do you still play golf?
Absolutely not. I can't swing a golf club if my life depends on it anymore. But I did play for the probably the first 5, 6 years of my life, and it was what I thought I'd do, but not anymore.
It messes with our softball swing, so stay away from those golf clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question that I ask everyone is ritual slash superstitions. Do you have any that you got to do before you take the field?
If you would have asked me 2 years ago, absolutely. I used to throw with the same ball before every game, but I don't do that anymore just because I try to get away from that. But now I pray, and then it's gonna sound a little silly, but I do these little daily affirmations before I pitch, and I say these certain things to myself, and I'll get somebody else to do them with me. But most of the time, it's like God will love me even when I throw the ball down the middle. So no, most of the time they're funny just to make me laugh before I pitch, but stuff like that.
And you could add "Gotta love you," but Coach Clark won't. So I'm just
That's brought
I
up
did.
now and
I,
then.
I did tell them in the dugout the other day. We're in the seventh inning with 2 outs. She gets to a full count. I turned around and said, "If she walks her, I'm calling time. I'm going out there. I'm gonna kick her in the shins. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna come right back to the dugout."
I like it, Coach. I like it.
So what type of music do you enjoy listening to?
Ooh, I'm an old soul. Anything from 50s to early 2000s. Most of the time country music or Christian music, but I like my heavy metal and Elvis Presley, of course. That's probably my all-time. But anything from 50s to early 2000s.
Well, of course, it's got to be Elvis Presley after being named after him.
Yep.
What's your
Mhm.
favorite Elvis song?
Ooh, that's really hard. Probably either Suspicious Minds or Hound Dog.
I'm telling you, this may be my cousin somehow. We be related somehow.
I don't know if you can find it on YouTube or somewhere, but I know for a fact I've got the album, legit album, the vinyl from back in the day of Elvis Presley, and he's singing "Oh McDonald." If you've never heard it, you need to go listen to it.
I do. Yes.
That that is one of the coolest songs, funniest songs, but coolest songs you'll ever hear.
Mhm.
So, what's your favorite subject?
Ooh, I'm a math and science girl. That's actually what I was tutoring is Math 112. But you don't want me to check your English homework, so I couldn't tell you where a comma goes. So definitely math,
I'm telling
112 equals 4, don't it?
you,
pretty much. Hmm.
Yeah, 112 equals 4.
Yes.
I can tutor some of y'all. Bring them to me, Coach Clark. Um,
No. Well, we sent them to Coach Hart, so all
yep.
bets are off.
so, with all your teammates and everything, do they have a nickname for you?
Not yet. Most of the time, whenever they see me, they're just like, "Hey, girl." And then if we know each other's name by now, I hope we do. I learned everybody's names pretty quick, but most of the time they're just like, "Go get your ball." If I hit it out, so that's normally what I get called is "Go get your ball."
Some reason I thought it might be Slave, short for Slayton.
No, I get press every now and then,
Okay.
something like that. Coach Russo calls me Elvis most of the time.
Coach, what do you call her?
Press. Usually
Press.
what I say.
So Coach Clark can't hear what we're talking about right now. So
Hmm.
is there anybody on the team that does a great impression of Coach Clark?
Not yet, but I will learn to. I do impressions, so I'm
We
working on
Coach
Russo.
Russo. Now, hey, there's some that can give some Russo impersonations. It's pretty impressive. So
Yes.
Go ahead, Randy. You got something to say?
no, I said we should bring her on as Coach Clark one day, like for Halloween, and just not Coach Clark here. Just say Coach Clark is Presley.
Yep.
she can definitely she can do a good Coach Russo. It's pretty good. It's funny.
Mm.
It cracks me up.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Let's go ahead and hear a little bit of it.
So if you're ever
Yeah.
running bases, he's going score, 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 score every time.
And it's gotten to the point where if we're in the third base dugout for sure, and he's wheeling somebody around third, the entire dugout's yelling that. So it's pretty funny. It's good.
That's the correct accent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
It's good.
That's cool. Presley, one last thing, real quick, then we're gonna let y'all get out here. We appreciate y'all's time. Coach Clark has done said that I can come down and tour the facilities and all that, and I want it to be on a day that y'all have a practice because I want to stand in the batter's box, not try to hit one because I know I can't hit a ball, but I want to see those pitches that you're throwing at these other batters. Would you do that for me?
As long as you have on a helmet and as long as you know that you may get hit.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll get out of the way. I ain't got to have a helmet on. I mean, I'm not going to have no bat or nothing. I'll get out of the way.
I'll do the same thing, but I'm gonna sit in the bleachers and I can sit good enough from there.
All right.
I just want to see the close up of the ball come flying in.
You're crazy.
Yeah, I'm willing. I'm willing to do it. So, Coach Clark, let me know next time y'all have, or not next time, but pretty soon when y'all have a practice there, let me know. I want to come down and A, check out facilities and everything, and B, see what Miss Presley's got on the. I'm fixing to say on the mound, but in the circle.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna let
Sounds
y'all get
good.
out here.
Coach, what do you
Presley,
got the next 2 weeks? You've got this one coming up, and I know you got another one. I can't remember what it was.
We got you talking about for this week.
Yes.
We've got Highlands tomorrow. We've got Central Alabama Thursday, and then we turn right around on Friday and play Miles College, which is D2, and then Alabama A&M, which is Division One. So Friday's a tough day as well. We've got a really tough week ahead of us. I think we're ready for a tough week to really challenge us and push us a little bit.
And you got Kennesaw in a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We got West Georgia before we have Kennesaw, though.
Another great program.
good deal. All right, Miss Presley, any shout outs you'd like to give before we get going? And also let your mom and dad know that, hey, you're doing interviews on a podcast and let them know about RiverCity-Media and follow us. And that way they can watch you and all that.
And please feel free to shout out your youth group because we are not politically correct and we believe in whatever you want to say is legal. So go ahead.
Okay. First of all, of course, God, He gave me all the talent that I have, and
Amen.
I think that that's probably the best shout out that I can give. But of course, to my parents, they do watch this actually every time Coach Clark is on here. My dad watches it before he goes to sleep, so he's a big
Not,
fan.
not a on it. No, no.
He was making me sit in the living room and watch it with him the other night. And then of course to my youth group and just to our team because I think that we have a bunch of talented girls and I think that we're getting along really great. So that's about all I have.
Oh, I thought one more quick question. What's your favorite part of a road trip?
Eating. I mean, all of us sitting down and eating together. Absolutely that and music. Hmm.
Awesome. Where would you like to eat at on that road trip?
Oh, anywhere with good food. As long as I'm not a picky person. And Coach Clark took us to Ruby Tuesdays the other day. And I don't know what he was thinking. That's why the rest of them shut down. But it's okay.
No lie.
We were there
We,
forever, but it was good. So
we, we won't be going there again. It took about an hour and a half to get desserts that they all somehow cheated and got free dessert somehow, and then they had to go fix them in the back at 9 o'clock at night. So that was interesting in itself.
Well,
Hmm.
that'll be a good story to talk about during the spring, I guess, when y'all are sitting around somewhere. So,
Yeah.
Coach Clark, move on to you. Shout outs.
Obviously, my wife holding things down at home and running the kids from place to place, and you know,
Volleyball,
I don't do what.
coaching volleyball.
Coaching volleyball. We're tag teaming right now. There's times I've got the kids by myself. Times she's got the kids by herself. We're not usually at home at the same time very much without somebody being asleep right now. So you got that, and then obviously my kids who, like I was saying, they're bouncing around right now, but they're always excited to see us. And I know Ava loves the softball field and loves to be up here. The other three coaches that put up with me daily, Coach Russo, Coach Delaney, and Coach Hart, they do a good job, and the players respond well to them. And then really, and the biggest one right now is the team. You know what some of the things they're doing, not only on the field but off the field, is really impressive. They've started a team Bible study on Wednesday nights. You know, and so they're doing a lot of things off the field as well, that are really impressive. And then, not to mention, they're coming to work every day. You hardly get any complaining. It's one of our big rules: is just don't complain, no matter how you feel about what we're doing or what you think about it. Don't complain. There's a reason we're doing it, and we don't get complaints. They come in, they put their nose down, they work hard, they get done what we're supposed to get done, and um, practice has been really really fun this year, and I think it's because they come to work every day and challenge each other. It's not the fact of, you know you've got 9 people that are obvious starters. We've got several players that can contribute in certain ways that come in, and they push each other, and that's a good thing. And if you've got competition when you're by yourself, you're definitely going to compete with other teams. And competition, you'll never shy away from competition if you've got it within your team. So that's something that's been really impressive with the team too.
That's awesome. Presley, did your parents know that you were on the show tonight?
They didn't. That's why they kept calling me. Yeah, I texted my dad and I said, "Would you please stop calling me? I'm trying to talk." Yes, he gave me a thumbs up, so I'm sure he'll tune in here in a little bit and watch it.
Awesome. Randy, you got something?
Hey, shout out to Presley's parents for a wonderful job and a wonderful young lady they have raised and gave the world.
Thank you.
Let's let's throw Presley underneath the bus. Out of the four coaches, which one do you like the best? I'm just messing with you. No, don't answer that.
I was about to say, I mean, I've got Coach Hart sitting behind me, and I've got Coach Clark on here, so I was a little nervous.
Hey, Coach Hart, jump on real quick. Tell everybody
Oh
hello.
no, we're gonna go another hour. Here we go.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. We can shut
Where's
them
he at?
off.
Where's he
I'll
at?
let him step in.
yeah.
What
There
up?
he is.
Coach Hart, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good. Looking forward to getting you on here one day.
Yeah, yeah. You can talk to boss man about that. Yeah, we'll have to
Uh,
look at the questions beforehand and approve those.
had to
That's a
get it
problem. We
approved.
just we just go by the seat of our pants. We don't have
We
no
got
pre-production.
an
Well,
Okay.
you
approved
might,
itinerary.
yeah, you might want to do that night, and we'll just make sure everything's okay.
Good deal. Presley, I know you're close by. Thanks for joining us tonight.
See you guys.
Thank
See you,
you.
Coach. So,
Thank you for having
hey,
me.
oh no, thank you for coming on, and looking forward to, and let your teammates know that you was on here, and it's not as bad as Coach Clark probably lets it sound.
Oh, he don't make it sound bad at all. I got a text message about an hour ago. Hey, you want to do an interview? And I was like, sure. Sounds good.
Hey, well, I had a choice between two colleges. I'm the Gadsden guy, only
Yeah,
the Gadsden guy.
that's right.
Mhm.
That's
I
right.
didn't have a choice. I
Yeah,
got told.
doing
I
on
got
both.
told you're on both of them, so I'm on both of them, which is fine. So, Coach Clark, let me know when you got some time. Let me come down and mess around with the girls for a little while, as far as the softball aspect of it, and showing the facility off, and let's hope and fingers crossed that y'all get to play at home Thursday night. or
Oh
Thursday
yeah,
afternoon?
we're hoping so, and I think I think I think we'll be out there.
I
And
know.
if you
So
hit it, obviously, we would not blame you.
Yeah, go ahead and hit me. That's fine. I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
big guy. Go ahead and hit me. I got a lot of fat to protect me, so I'm all good.
No, as long as you're good to my teammates, you ain't got to worry about it.
he's a horrible human being. You probably need to beam him right.
Yeah.
I've been known if you say something inappropriate to my teammates to hit you. So
I'll be sure to stand way far back in the batter's box. That way I'll know for sure if it's on purpose or not.
that's right.
There you go. Guys, best of luck tomorrow night at Highlands or tomorrow afternoon at Highlands. What time's that first pitch tomorrow, Coach?
4 o'clock Central.
4 Central. And then, of
Yes,
course, our
sir.
special guest tonight, Presley, will be taking the mound or taking the circle for game 2. And best of luck to you tomorrow night. And
Thank you.
and if there's anything we can do for y'all, of course, just let us know. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks, Coach Clark. And Coach Clark's going to find us somebody else to join with us and hopefully get to introduce and meet a lot more of these players. And if they're all as good as Miss Presley here, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, you told me you wanted somebody that'll talk the first time, so Presley will talk. There's no doubt about it. So
Yes, sir.
Um, she's not as crazy as some pitchers either, so I'll give her that.
no, because she's not a PO. Most POs they get a little different now. You can't touch the rosin bag. You can't put. They have to throw with the same ball every day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a different group.
yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, best of luck to y'all guys and looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, Coach Clark. And if we can do anything in between time, of course, you know where we're at. Just let us know. So for QB1, I'm Howard Channing. Of course, the man of the hour is Coach Ryan Clark, and our special guest tonight, Miss Presley Slayton. Utility everything at Gadsden State. Pitcher, outfielder, infielder. I think she's going to be selling hot dogs at the concession stand when
I
she's
saw her
not.
working individuals with the catchers today too. So
So, so there you go. Miss everything at Gadsden State right now. So get out and support these young ladies. Hopefully first home game at the new stadium will be Thursday at what time?
4 o'clock Thursday.
4 o'clock Thursday. Good deal.
Mm,
I might be able to make a little trip down there Thursday at 4 o'clock.
yeah. Come on.
I don't think we have a podcast Thursday. So anyway, if you see me standing on the sideline there, I'll be yelling and screaming. You know, not as loud as Coach Hart does, but you know I'll be doing something. So anyway, good night everybody, and God bless.